I'm not.
You're gonna get me crying before submissions.
Okay. Don't have any jokes that are vaguely appropriate for this. It was a lot of editing in my speeches.
I know, and I'm fairly sure people are seeing my dress, but that's a...
Let me be the one that's
Everyone heard that? Okay, that was a test. You passed. But you remain steady. You consistently respond with patience and grace when challenges find us. Your approach reminds me that while life can be frightening at times, it's pretty damn beautiful too.
promise to keep growing, keep learning, and keep understanding. So that way I can continue being the partner you deserve. Long journey together. Your wedding ring is a circle, a symbol of love never ending. It is the seal of the vows you've just taken to love each other without.
Was. I gotta go. She can still take me. It's a date. That's all I know. I just think it's
10 years now, a strong decade, and he still invited me to his wedding after all that time. So that's a win. We're doing pretty good. And I just, when I think about Dan, I just think about all his amazing qualities. He's kind, he's funny, he's sensitive, super smart, especially when it comes to finances. And that's something that really stuck out to me was his financial literacy, his financial management. And even though I'm 10 years his senior, over these years, he has never hesitated to give me financial advice. But it's cool, I kind of needed it. I'm not like saying I'm good with money, but I'm just like less bad now because of Dan.
So they're cut it in half and they count the French fries and they have 2 straws. And they're kind of, you know, he's eating and she's just sitting there watching him.
And she's like, Dan, enough's enough. Well, luck had it. Part of my COVID crisis was my husband and I decided to get a second place, a second home, just outside of Kelowna, on the west side, like Okanagan. And Dad said to me, he was like, yeah, I think I'm been kicked out of my place. I was like, Dan, well, we're all like, we have to work from home. Go live at my place in Kelowna. He's like, oh, Susan, I can't afford to pay for this. I was like, Dad, just pay me whatever you were paying for rent in your place in Calgary, and that's fine. Just go live at my place. So, long story short, you would have never gotten this lady if it weren't for me.
Everybody's footsteps of getting these two together. So, 3 of us grew up huge into snowboarding. We grew up in a small town, about 10,000 people, and in the center of town, there was a massive hill called Dead Man's Hill that we would spend all our free time snowboarding, playing, having snowball fights, doing this and that. And one night, we were there, went out snowboarding, and Dan lived down at the bottom of the hill, and his backyard backed right on to the hill pretty much. So we snowboarded to the bottom, and we were just hanging out in Dan's front yard, the three of us, sitting, chatting, and just talking about how much we love snowboarding and this and that. And we said, we would have been 11 or 12 at the time. And we said, you know what, we really love this. How cool would it be to live with mountains out west? And we kind of all started chatting about it and going back and forth. And the three of us made a pact right then and there. As soon as we graduate high school, why don't we all move out west?
Thank you. That is the second wedding I've told that joke at. Hi, Jeff and Amanda. To that end, I'd like to offer just a wee bit of wisdom. Good luck. And for her colleagues. Alyssa, you treat each one of your students with dignity, unwavering patience, and compassion. For me, our friendship began with the respect I have for you professionally, and grew as I came to realize the kindness, respect, and fierce loyalty you have towards your friends. I have spoken to our friends at work about the words they would use to describe you. Those are called adjectives. Welcome. Ultimate professional, genuine, unfailingly positive, kind to an extreme degree, shows gratitude for even the smallest of things, organized, leader, considerate, empathetic, sensitive, intuitive, perceptive, peaceful, adventurous, beautiful, fiercely loyal came up several times. I think it's important that you know that.
I love you all.
Shaking, unforgettable, a crescendo of rising action.
But little did I know Kelowna was where he was about to meet someone truly special, Alyssa, and that someone was Alyssa. So yes, I still remember when Dan told me about her. He was so excited, and if you know Dan, you know he doesn't exactly gush about things. But with Alyssa it was different.
Stories, but I'm going to start from the beginning. This journey began 37 years ago on my birthday and my 1-year anniversary from the RCMP when I met a wonderful man. As we move along, everything Alyssa sets her mind to, she gives 100%. We're very proud of the woman you've become. She's strong, she's kind, she's beautiful inside and out. So is Daniel. I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of incredible people tonight. When they started dating, I would refer to Daniel as, it's Alyssa's friend. Because, you know, you just don't want to get too close. Well, as time went along, and family dinners, and Daniel getting his motorcycle license, he made it clear he wasn't going anywhere. So then he moved up to Alyssa's good friend. But they got engaged. He did come and talk to us before, but I realized he's really here to stay. We can't get rid of you, Daniel. So he became the boyfriend. Well, I guess you made it clear you really, really want to stay. So you're officially now the son-in-law. We welcome you to the family, Daniel. Take good care of our little girl, and Alyssa, take care of our son-in-law, because we're going to keep him.
A pessimist is just an optimist with experience has always been my philosophy. My glass is always empty. My work friends call me prickly. They all pitied the poor bugger that was going to have to ask for my daughter's hand in marriage. even before they ever met him. And there he is. Alyssa, my baby girl, here we are. Look at how beautiful you are right now. 9 months of pure agony as your mom spent a lot of those months in the hospital, sick with your pregnancy. Me giving your mom 2 needles every day in each hip before I went to work just to keep her from throwing up. You developing bronchitis at a week old, being jaundice, and going back to the hospital to lay under those lights with your little tiny sunglasses on. You were so cute. Do you remember helping me fold laundry, Alyssa? And run around the house with your underwear on your head, wanting me to call you Captain Underpants? With me when we collected diabetes cans. I volunteered for the Canadian Diabetes Association of Williams Lake, and it was Alyssa and I would go around town and we'd collect all the cans, and we would roll and count the money. And for that, I would take Alyssa to Tim Hortons for a donut, hot chocolate, just to say thanks for helping me out. I don't know if I ever told you this, Alyssa, but do you remember your very first day of kindergarten? I cried my eyes out, walking home alone, watching you drive away on the school bus, because I just didn't want to let you go. We coached your soccer teams. We took you to ballet classes. I took you to Sparks, where I was told, you can't be a Sparks leader because you're a man. So I just sit on the floor against the gym wall, and I would just love and admire you from afar. Do you remember sitting at our kitchen table at the Mount York house in about grade 3, complaining that you had to do homework? And do you remember I yelled at you and said, well, you better get used to it, Alyssa, because you've got a lot of school ahead of you. Look at you now.
Stop it.
To another man. I know it's the natural way of things, but what eased my pain was when I saw how happy you are and how much you love Daniel. That was when I knew that this was a normal part of being a loving father. Alyssa met Daniel at the very height and the very worst of those COVID times. Do you all remember, rightly or wrongly, how cautious we were back then? I remember it being a while before Alyssa introduced us to Daniel. We trusted her enough, we thought, well, if she likes him, of course, we're gonna like him. We own a Jeep Wrangler, and Daniel shows up in this really nice purple Jeep Wrangler, all tricked out with the lift kit and the rims, and I think, oh, geez, that's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool guy. So I said, geez, I really like your Jeep. And Daniel says, yeah, I've been to Moab in Utah, and I mountain bike. And I'm thinking, oh, is this the time? Daniel made some small talk, and I'm thinking, you poor bugger. I'm thinking this is going to be awful for you. And I wasn't going to make it easy for him. Finally, he says, listen, I want to get married and I want your permission and blessing. And that was nearly the exact same words I used with Michelle's dad. So my response was the exact same as Wayne's response. I said, Alyssa will only want to get married once in her lifetime. You need to be very sure of your intentions, and if you are, then yes, you have my blessing. I know the courage, Daniel, it takes for a man to ask another man's hand for his daughter's hand in marriage. You've proven to be the man you are, Daniel, and we're proud of you, and we welcome you into our family and call you our son-in-law. You notice I've gone back to calling him Daniel. That's because we're not friends anymore, Daniel. We're family. We're family, Daniel, and we welcome you to our family.
Not just Alyssa's parents, but also advisors in the Lord. Dan told us that when he was getting ready to buy a motorcycle, Alan had a little chat with him to make sure that he was buying it for the right reasons. So now we're just waiting for the next leg of the journey and all the joys that will bring. So if y'all join me in a toast to this wonderful couple.
Ever so ambitious trips to the mountains. The culmination of those trips was our ascent of Mount Baker on the 29th, but nothing quite of the sort. Adam and Laura had done mountaineering very well before.
I want to say thank you to all the friends and family from Ontario, Calgary, and all over the Okanagan as well, to really celebrate Alyssa and I.
I'm really sad that he wasn't here to see what ride I would have. But I know he's looking down on us, and he's super happy to see us.
We hugged each other, and we started crying a little, and I really loved it. At that moment, I didn't just feel like a guest or a visitor. I felt like your daughter.
What a woman she is. Her confidence, her strength, and her empathy, all of that is a reflection of you. You taught her to stand up for what's right, and to do it with grace and integrity.
Who's the first one to say sorry?
Cheers to you, Alyssa.